हेलो फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हो आप लोग। माई सेल्फ चेतन गर्ग, आई एम मास्टर टीचर here at Vedantu. I welcome you all to our RMO flashback series. In today's lecture, we will be discussing question number 4th and question number 5th of year 1996. One of these questions is from geometry, and the other question is a mixture of permutation and combination and number theory, majorly number theory, right? So before starting the session, I'll give you one information that currently here at Vedantu, we are running pre-RMO, RMO and INMO batches. And those who have not cleared pre-RMO yet or have not appeared for pre-RMO yet, they should visit our website olympiad.vedantu.com. Here we have provided each and every information regarding pre-RMO batches. And those who have already cleared pre-RMO or RMO, they should simply mail me their these details, their name, their class, their contact number, their address, along with the proof that you have cleared either pre-RMO or RMO class, right? On this email ID, chetan.garg@vedantu.com. Those who have cleared pre-RMO, we will simply enroll you to RMO batches, and those who have cleared RMO, we will simply enroll you to INMO batches. All these batches are completely free of cost because the ultimate aim is to bring gold for India. So you do not need to pay even a single rupee to enroll in these batches, right? So let's start our session. This is the question number 4th of year 1996. This is a very simple question, and if you have not tried this question, I would suggest please take 10-15 minutes है ना, 10-15 मिनट लो, ये क्वेश्चन बड़े इजीली हो जाएगा. जस्ट ट्राई दिस क्वेश्चन, ठीक है. And still, if you are not able to solve this question, you can again watch the video to see the solution, right? So I'll continue with the solution. Okay, so the question says that suppose n is an n digit positive integer such that all of the digits are distinct, right? All the n digits are distinct, and the sum of any three consecutive digits should be divisible by 5, right? So these are the two constraints, that all the digits should be distinct in an n digit natural number, right? And the sum of any three consecutive digits that should be divisible by 5. So we need to prove something. We need to prove that this natural number n, this can have a maximum of 6 digits, right? So this n, this natural number n, which is an n digit number, that can have a maximum of 6 digits. Further, we need to show that starting with any digit, that is starting with either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we can find a 6 digit number with these properties. That is we can find a 6 digit number starting from n digit that will satisfy these two conditions, right? Okay, so let's first prove the first part, that this natural number n will have a maximum of 6 digits. Okay, so let's assume that it can have more than 6 digits, right? Let's assume a1, a2, a3, a4, a5, a6, a7 and so on. It can have 7 or more than 7 digits. Since any three consecutive digits should be divisible by 5, right? Sum of any three, so its sum should be divisible by 5, as well as sum of these three should be divisible by 5. That is a1 plus a2 plus a3, that should also be divisible by 5, and as well as a2 plus a3 plus a4, that should also be divisible by 5. This will simply imply that a1 and a4, they should leave same remainder when divided by 5. That is a1 and a4, they should be congruent modulo with 5, right? Why? Because simply a1 plus a2 plus a3, that is also divisible by 5, and a2 plus a3 plus a4, that is also divisible by 5, right? So a2 plus a3 is common clearly, and in spite of a1 we have added a4, right? So by the same logic we can say a4, a5, a6 and a5, a6, a7, that is a1 and a7, or you can say a4 and a7, they should leave same remainder when they are divided by 5, right? So this will imply that we can have three numbers and since the digits are distinct, so we can have three distinct digits which will leave same remainder when divided by 5. But since we know that there can have a maximum of two numbers, right, which will leave same remainder when divided by 5, right? I'll just list down these numbers, right? As you can say, all the digits can be categorized into 5 pairs. This will be of the form 5k, this will simply of the form 5k plus 1, these two numbers will be of the form 5k plus 2, these are simply of the form 5k plus 3, and these are simply of the form 5k plus 4, right? So when if we divide by 5, we can have same remainder only for two digits, right? So a1, a4, a7, they cannot be all distinct. Two of them must be same, right? So that will not satisfy our first condition. So we can have a maximum of six digits, six distinct digits, right? Let's try to find these numbers, right? Let's try to find six digit number. Let's say if we start with 1, right? So the sum of other two should be 5, right? So 1 4 5, we can write this. And as you can see, if 1 is there, there has to be 6, right? Because they two have the same remainder when divided by 5. And since there is 4, there has to be 9. Again, these two should have the same remainder when divided by 5. Similarly, if there is 5, what number should be there? Exactly 0. Okay. So this is one of the number which actually uses 6 digits, right? So we can in fact we can make, let's assume 6, we can easily interchange these two numbers, right? If 6 is there, 1 will be there, rest all will remain same. This number will also satisfy the all the properties, right? And if we wish to start from 4, we can substitute 4 here, then there will be 9, right? We can keep 5 here, we can keep 0 here, we can substitute 1 here, we can substitute 6 here. So this number clearly starts from 4. We can easily interchange 4 and 9. So simply this number will start from 9. So we have found that 1, 4, 6, 9, these are all are possible. Even if you can interchange 5 and 1 here, है 5 there, 1 here. So 5, 0, here it should be 9, and 1 corresponding to 1, there should be 6. So as you can say, the number can easily start from 1, 4, 6, 9 and 5. Let's take the other numbers. Let's say we take 2, 3, 5. So according to 2, corresponding to 2, there should be 7, and corresponding to it, there should be 3, and corresponding to 5, there should be 0, right? So as you can see, this number is starting from 2. We can interchange these two, the number will start from 7. We can interchange these two, accordingly these two will also get interchanged, so the number can start from 3 and 8 as well. Okay, so we have formed all the 5 numbers, right? We have formed all the 9 numbers whose starting digits are distinct. So we can say that we can easily find a 6 digit number starting from any digit, right? Which will also satisfy these two properties, right? So that was a question from 1996. That is an easy question, and that question belongs to number theory. Let's proceed to the next question, right? Okay, the question says, let ABC is a triangle and HA is the altitude through A. We need to prove something, right? We need to prove that B plus C whole square, that will be greater than or equal to A square plus 4HA square, right? So I'll give a very simple proof to this question. Let's first draw the diagram, right? All right, let's assume this is A, B, C, right? And this is given to be HA. So opposite to B there is small b, opposite to C there is small c, and let's assume this BC side to be A unit, right? All right, let's make a construction. Okay, let's draw since this is HA and we need to prove 4HA square, and 4HA square is nothing but twice of HA whole square. So we need actually twice of HA, right? So just make a parallel line to BC. Since this is perpendicular, so this will also be perpendicular, and just draw a line which is which has the same height in between them, right? So if we simply draw a perpendicular from C on this line, then you can clearly see that this thing is nothing but twice of HA. Let's assume this point is D, right? And since these two are perpendicular and these two lengths will be equal, HA and HA, so AD will be simply equal to AC according to our construction, right? So B plus C, okay, so B plus C, that will be nothing but B plus C, we can write B is nothing but AC plus AB, and since AC was equals to AD, so we can say that this B plus C, that will be nothing but AD plus this AB, right? And as you can see, ABD is a triangle, in which we can say that this thing will be greater than BD, right? So we can say that B plus C whole square, that should be greater than BD square. But since this is a right angle triangle, BDC, right? And we can say that this B plus C, sorry, this B plus C whole square, that should be greater than BD square will be nothing but BD is hypotenuse, so BD square will be, according to Pythagoras theorem, simply it will be A square plus 4HA square. And in fact, this is what we need to prove, right? So again, here it is an equality. Equality will only follow when HA is 0, right? In that case only we can say that B plus C will be equal to A, right? So in that case only the equality will hold, else it will simply be B plus C whole square, that will always be greater than or equal to HA, A square plus 4HA square, right? So that was an easy question if we construct this thing, right? There is another method for this question also. Let's also discuss that method, right? Okay, let's make the diagram first. Let's assume this is an ABC triangle, right? And let's assume this is nothing but HA and this is point D, right? All right. So opposite to B there is B. This is small c, and let's assume this angle to be alpha and this angle to be beta, right? All right. So what we can say that this thing, all right, B plus C whole square, right? So we can say that this is nothing but HA square. All right. So let's just B square plus C square, right? That will be plus 2BC. Just expand the whole square. We need to prove that this thing is greater than or equal to A square plus 4HA square, right? So we can say that we need to prove actually B square plus C square minus A square, right? And let's divide the whole thing by 2BC. So that will be 2BC plus 1, right? That should be greater than or equal to twice of HA upon what you will say, HA upon B into HA upon C, right? This is what we need to prove. So this is nothing but, what is this thing? B square plus C square minus A square upon twice of BC. That will be cosine of A. This is cos of A, right? Plus 1, that should be greater than or equal to twice of, what is HA upon B? HA upon B, that you can see, that will be cos of beta into HA upon C, that will be simply cos of alpha, right? And cos A is nothing but alpha plus beta. As you can see, this angle A is nothing but alpha plus beta, right? So if we substitute the value of A here, what we will get? Cosine of alpha plus beta plus 1. In fact, we need to prove that this thing is greater than or equal to twice of cos alpha cos beta. Just expand the formula of cos of alpha plus beta, that will become cos A cos B, that is cos alpha cos beta minus sin alpha sin beta plus 1. We need to prove that this thing is nothing but greater than or equal to twice of cos alpha cos beta, right? Let's take this on the right hand side. What we will get, let's take these two terms on the right hand side. One should be greater than or equal to cos of alpha cos of beta plus sin of alpha sin of beta, right? So this will imply that we actually need to prove that this thing cos of alpha minus beta, and that is less than or equal to 1. And this is true because cosine of anything is always less than or equal to 1. So we can simply say that this thing is how much? This thing is true, right? So we have done two methods. This is method 2 of this equation, of this question, and that was method 1. I simply prefer method 1. Method 1 थोड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग सा है ना, नो कैलकुलेशन, जस्ट अ सिंपल पाइथागोरस थ्योरम and a triangular inequality. Right guys, so that's it from today's session. In today's lecture we have discussed question number 4th and 5th from year 1996, and in the coming lecture we will be discussing next two questions of year 1996. Before ending the session, I'll communicate once again that currently here at Vedantu we are running pre-RMO, RMO and INMO batches. The students who have cleared who have already cleared pre-RMO, we will simply enroll you to RMO batch, and those who have cleared RMO, we will simply enroll you to INMO batch. All you need to do is just mail me these details on this email ID chetan.garg@vedantu.com, right? So see you in the next session. Till then, take a good care of yourself. Thank you. Bye bye.